Hey, what is going on, you guys? AK40 Kevin here in the gamer heaven. Today we're going to be right over here. Today I want to talk about why it is a very wise investment if you're trying to build a budget gaming PC to go with a second or even third hand used Dell OptiPlex 390, either the compact version or a mid-tower. Or if you're just looking for a budget home PC for some general productivity for you and your family, these are a solid bet and they're overlooked by a lot of people. Let's get it. Alrighty guys, so over here on the floor I have a Dell OptiPlex 390. This is the compact version in a tiny case. There is also a mid-tower version. The thing about these PCs are, they are incredibly budget oriented because you can scoop one up second or third hand, because what happens is a lot of times businesses, offices, they will replace their PCs every 3 to 5 years. They're not going to have their IT department come in and install, new RAM and change the CPUs out and put new thermal paste and whatnot. They just buy all new PCs. Same thing with academies, colleges and whatnot, universities, if you will. They replace their PCs to keep everything up to date, and then they have dozens or hundreds, maybe even thousands, depending on the size of their operation over there, desktop computers. Instead of just tossing them into the landfill, which causes a ton of electronics waste, capacitors, PCBs, silicon, whatever, what they'll do to actually earn back a little bit of money towards their operating costs is they will just sell these on something like, for example, eBay or a website that handles mass secondhand computers. So you can actually pick up one of these bad boys for about $130. That's what I paid for old Ben over there. A lot of these come with 4 or 8 gigabytes of RAM, a pretty solid i3 or i5 Intel processor, a decent motherboard, a lot of times with Bluetooth and Wi-Fi support, an optical DVD drive if that's something you're looking for your home productivity computer, and a pretty decent power supply. Not to mention PCIe slots if you do want to just drop in a budget GPU, which is what a lot of people do. They'll get one of these budget 390s, either the mid-tower case or the compact like I have, and drop in a GPU and a little bit of RAM, keep the motherboard, CPU, and power supply stock, and as well as the case, so it's kind of a sleeper. People look at it and like, oh, an old family Dell, right? And then you turn on, you're running modern AAA titles at, 1080, 60, no problem. So at the end of the day, you can build a very respectable 1080p gaming rig for about $350, $400 at the most, well under $500. To prove to you guys I'm not just talking out of my tuchus, I'm going to bring you guys over here to Trooper 7, I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to look at a couple of these models that you can pick up right now. Alrighty guys, over here at my PC I have a couple of websites pulled up in these tabs here. Now this is outlet.us.dell, so these are specifically from Dell. I have this categorized from lowest to highest, and as you see, not too cheap here, $388. I mean, that's not bad, but that's a lot more than we're talking about spending here, boys. This is an option for you. I would check this website quite frequently as they do update their stock almost daily. Now over here, this is also from Dell. This is DellRefurbished.com, so it's a third-party website, but it is sponsored by Dell. And as you can see here, Dell OptiPlex with an i3 in it at 3.4 gigahertz. You have 8 gigabytes of RAM that is dual channel, a 500 gigabyte hard drive. You already have Windows installed on there. This is Windows 7, but you can obviously upgrade to Windows 10 for free. You will need to scour the internets to get a license code, or you can just, pay to unlock a license code. And then you have a cosmetic grade. This is a B, which means it probably has some scrapes and scratches and whatnot, but not a huge deal, especially if you're kind of going for that sleeper build style. It might look like an old family PC, but it's got a budget graphics card in it and can run pretty solid. Now over here, this is PCLiquidations.com. This is a small form factor PC, very similar to what I have with old Ben. However, mine is actually a 3090, and I think it's a little bit older than these here, but this has an i5 in it with a 3.3 gigahertz base clock, quad memory slots. I don't think all of those are filled up. But this is going for $184 currently. Let's get a little bit more of the specifications on it. So this website here actually gives you quite a few details, pictures and whatnot of the ports you're going to have on the back. One of the things I forgot to mention earlier, and I really do like about the OptiPlex computers, is the majority of the USB plugs are 3.0. Like almost all the plugs are 3.0, which is cool. Now here you're starting with this base of 184, but if you want to upgrade from here, you can include additional add-ons, and you can also finance here for as low as, well, currently we're at base spec at $854. Obviously that will go up if we spec this thing out, but I wouldn't do it like that. What I would do is just buy the base, bare bones, skeleton crew PC here, and then get yourself a budget graphics card from something like Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, or eBay. Drop that in there. If you have anything less than 8 gigabytes of RAM, so you're on 2 or 4, go ahead and pop an extra stick in there. Now keep in mind, these do support DDR3, not DDR4, so it's not very high-speed modern RAM, but that's fine. Again, if you're building a budget gaming PC to run 1080, not an issue. Now over here on good old-fashioned eBay, you're going to find all kinds of stuff here. I would be a little careful buying on eBay as opposed to buying from something like directly from Dell Refurbished, because you never know who's on the other side of that listing. Like for example, right here, this guy only has one sale and it's a 1-star review. I'd probably steer clear. If it sounds too good to be true, keyboard, mouse, monitor, PC for $137, I would research that before you pull the trigger on the buy. Granted, eBay does have buyer's protection, but a lot of times the seller will find a loophole around that, and then you're spending weeks going back and forth with an eBay representative, and you don't get your money back, and you wasted your time. All right, let's click on this one here. This looks very similar to the listing. Looked like when I bought my OptiPlex, it was just a very plain set of pictures. And let's check out some of the specs on this bad boy. These are testing, working, and ready to use. Very fast. Very fast is very subjective. That could be very fast back in 1996. No Wi-Fi card, no keyboard, no mouse, no monitor, just the desktop and the power cable. That's really all we want here. So our goal with Old Ben, which we're going to be doing that budget OptiPlex build on this channel, is to spec out the actual desktop itself for about $250 to $300. So everything inside the case itself. And then about a total of $500 or under, including the PC and all the peripherals. So keyboard, mice, speakers, headset, monitor, all that stuff. So definitely subscribe if you want to see that budget build go down and see what kind of performance you can get for $500, including all peripherals. So this has an i5 4th gen, 4 gigabytes of RAM. So again, you'd want to pop an extra stick in there. A measly 250 gigabyte hard drive. You're probably going to want to get a budget SSD. However, you can get a 500 gigabyte SSD for about $20 on Amazon. This does have Windows 10 registered on it. It does have a DVD drive. Awesome, awesome. So these are some of the places you can go, Dell Refurbished, PC Liquidations, eBay.com, and you can find these things relatively cheap. I wouldn't spend anything over $150 on an OptiPlex, and that's the high end. That's if it has 8 gigabytes of RAM, maybe an i5 in it, because, like I said, these are being sold in mass, and these companies and universities just want to get something for their old PCs so they don't have to send it to the scrapyard. By doing that, by selling these, they can kind of offset the purchase price of their new PCs. And we, the secondhand consumer, get a very, very capable budget PC that you can slap a graphics card and some RAM in there, and you have a decent 1080p gaming rig. So I just want to put this information out there, guys, because I know a lot of you guys might be on a budget and want to get into PC gaming. Maybe you're currently on console, or maybe you have nothing to game with and you just want a inexpensive rig that you can, and instead of buying a console, because that can only play games, you might want something like a PC that you can do schoolwork on and productivity work, but also have a fluid gaming experience. So I'm going to show you guys on this channel how you can do that for about $300, under $500, including all the peripherals. That's going to do it, guys. Make sure you subscribe so you catch every episode in the build series of Old Ben, and I will see you guys in the next video. Do not forget to like the video, as that will tick off the YouTube algorithm that you enjoy this video. It was entertaining and informative for you guys, and helps the video to get discovered by more people, as the YouTube algorithm does no favors for my channel. See you guys in the next one. Peace.